It's absolutely fantastic to see the room filled so much with familiar and new faces from far and wide. The big question is, how did tonight come about? The committee got together last year and brainstormed. They wanted to add something new to the winter programme, something exciting. So how can social media affect agriculture and farming life? Thankfully, we've got Andrew on our committee, and no better man. So we handed it over to him, and here we are tonight. Over to you, Andrew.
Thank you very much. I have a slightly different story about how this happened. I think the Ulster Farmers Union wanted me to talk at an event, and then I counter-offered them and said, I'll run an event for you. And then they didn't really have a clue what was going to happen until this happened. So I have a few thank yous to get out of the way. First of all, a few things of business. First of all, thank you to the Ulster Farmers Union for facilitating this and for letting us just get on with it and do whatever we want. I really appreciated that. I'm definitely not good at taking instructions. Also, thank you to my wonderful panelists who have joined me for this evening. I'll be honest, whenever I asked them to do this, they had no idea what they were agreeing to, but I think that's a good thing in hindsight.
We still haven't agreed.
Dale was definitely the hardest to get here. For those of you who don't watch Vicky, Dale doesn't even like appearing on camera, never mind in front of an audience. So this is a big deal for him here tonight. And actually, to get him to come here tonight, we had to play a little trick on him. I promised him that there was going to be an award for the best dairy herd in Northern Ireland in 2025. So, as promised, Vicky, will you present the award to your husband? Open it up and present the award.
And the award for Best Dairy Herd 2025 goes to Adam Killen. Get it up next year. There you go, Adam.
Unfortunately, Dale was very presumptive and he thought he was guaranteed to win it. But none of that's true, by the way. He had no idea. So tonight is going to be a little bit different. We're trying to make the meeting entertaining, but I think you also will learn something as we go. As you can see from the title, 3 broad topics: farming, family, and then social media at the end. There's going to be a structured section, which ideally is us just having a conversation. It is not prepared beyond this point. And then there will be a question and answer session from all of you for the second half. We will have a few minutes of a break in between for you to give all your questions into the question box before that starts. I will hand over to Lorraine for the first part of the evening.
Everybody, how are we? I, for one, am quite. No, should I stand up?
It's up to you.
It's not really, doesn't make much difference. I'm not that tall. It's great to see so many people coming out tonight to join us. So I don't know. You're probably not here to see me and Adam. Definitely here to see probably Dale. Let's face it, you're here to see Dale. Anyway,
Time to go home.
there's very little point in us standing up here and introducing ourselves because there's a good chance we're probably going to be familiar, maybe know some of us better than our other halves. But to start things off, we're going to do something a wee bit different. So get the ice broke, get everybody warmed up, get the crack going. We're going to have a game of Mr. and Mrs. Brace yourselves.
So my questions is for the wives. So we're asking the husband's questions, and if we get it right, if it's a match, we win the point, okay?
So me, Adam, and Dale are going to answer the question about us.
Yeah.
The wives have to guess what we're going to answer.
Right.
Just to be clear.
So there's 4 here, so I'm just picking 3.
What's the question? What are we
Oh, I have to ask it, kid.
This is the fantasy show, isn't it?
Right, are you ready? Answer honest, okay?
By the way, Dale and Vicky cheated. They discussed this in the car. I
He
have not
didn't,
mentioned
because
this.
he still doesn't know the answer to one of them.
Well, yeah.
Right. What one thing would they take to a desert island? Oh, I know this one.
That is so easy.
Would you just say water?
No.
Yeah, oh,
So
this
this
makes
is
my
someone
answer.
that I take the desert.
Yeah.
What would you take to desert island?
Oh, me?
Yes, obviously.
Yes.
Oh, I've explained this like 3 times. I
Well
literally went through
done, well
this.
done, Vicky.
Huh? Who's
You also have a big rubber here. What are you rubbing it into that for? Oh.
So we take it in turns.
How long now?
I'll just play
Yes,
it.
we'll take it.
I'll just play it safe.
Theo, it's about you. This shouldn't be difficult. Dear, help us.
What? There's no reason. Like, you don't. What would
Right.
you take?
Lorena, can see your answer. Do you think would that actually work?
Well, it's super glued to him, so
Oh, right,
I need
okay.
to.
Right, we'll
Right.
start over there before
Right.
Adam changes.
Don't
his
change your answer now. That's cheating.
Are you ready?
I should create more of it to last longer than just taking the one glass.
It's not slurry.
Right. Right, you ready? 1, 2, 3, go. Water. Go to a
Water.
desert island, there'll be an
Right,
ocean.
that's 0 points.
That's salt. That's very bad for
Right. You
You're going to
ready?
make us lose this.
A cow.
A cow.
Food and water.
0. Right, this should
you.
we're
Play it
definitely
safe. Play it
getting a
safe, Theo,
point.
you don't
I
know.
don't think we will.
My
What did you?
computer.
Yes.
Yay!
Would you say computer?
Yeah.
Should no internet.
Don't worry about that.
He doesn't need internet. He's coding,
These are way
dear.
too practical.
Right, you ready?
Yep.
What is their biggest ick? And
Oh.
like explain the ick.
No, you have to explain to the audience what an ick is. There's
Aye,
people over
explain.
30
Oh, right,
here.
an ick is like something that makes you like go off somebody like, oh, no. Like when you see something in somebody or something makes you like, oh no.
New Holland.
Okay.
Right.
You can't give away the
Write it
answer.
down, write it down.
Is this what I think Dick is?
This is your ick and what I think your ick is.
So I have to guess what Lorraine's like.
No,
No.
you're,
No, it's
you're
still
right
on
down
you.
your
Yes,
Yeah,
it's
still
still
on you.
for the man.
You can tell we don't get out much, can't
This
you?
is going to be a long night.
I don't know my egg is.
Well, you're dead.
Something that just grosses you out.
What annoys you?
Fire pump.
I'm better pump. Thanks, Laurie.
You don't say your answers.
Right, ask us. We'll get to them.
Alright,
Are
go.
you ready? Government regulation.
Oh, goodness gracious. No, I said taking photos in public.
Yeah, that would have been good. Yeah. 0.
Ready?
Vicky and Dale.
Laziness.
Laziness.
Half-arsed attitude.
Right.
Yeah.
Point each.
Laziness.
Yeah.
I'll
Yeah.
join. There we go.
Right.
Are we there yet,
I'm
Adam?
just going to go for the lazy, same as you. AD alarms. Aye.
Did you just take his
Aye, it's fucking
answer?
answer.
Same
Okay.
as us.
Final round for the men.
So bad.
I've two and I don't know which one to go for.
Well, you're going to have to choose.
Left or right?
Oh, whatever. Well,
This one. What are they scared of most?
Okay.
Like, what are you scared of most?
how did I write that?
Oh no, wait. I'm gonna change this.
Mine is so obvious now.
I
I think
think it is.
yeah, we're going to win this.
No, I don't think we're gonna say the same answer though.
We definitely are. You still struggling, Dale?
Don't know how to put it in the context.
Tighten up.
Into context, doesn't need
Tighten up.
context.
What one do you do, Deal?
What?
Confer.
Did you write?
Hold on, I haven't I haven't wrote it yet. Hold on.
I chose a very bad panel.
Right, I'm ready. Are you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready. Are you ready?
I'm thinking about it.
Oh, for God's sake.
Oh, Adam.
Right, start with us again.
Right, go.
Roller coasters.
What's yours?
This is
Roller
bad.
coasters.
What are you even scared of?
Yeah,
Family time.
that is also. In hindsight,
Mind voice.
that's actually.
I think I
true,
get
yeah.
you more than you get you.
Yeah. I should have went for that.
Also, the song "School Around the Corner."
Yeah.
Yeah. Right, deal. Getting sick. Family sickness, yeah.
Getting sick. Oh, taking the lead.
That's kind of obvious.
They
What's
did
that
cheat.
saying?
We definitely didn't cheat.
Right, Lorraine and Adam, you need a point here.
Bank manager.
We're in good terms, right?
What did Adam
me,
write?
me probably is that. So an AD plan if you have a power cut. It's a serious issue. If you have a power cut, just switch off the mixers and then the methane gas can rise and lift the roof off. So probably that'd be the serious thing.
Okay, yeah.
But it stands, they say it's
So after round one,
Do we get a point?
no.
No.
Vicky and Dale are on 2, me and Jess are on 1, and Adam and Lorraine are on 0. So now,
Oh, so we have to guess on same.
That's the point of the game,
Well,
Adam.
she just showed me her thing. I could have just copied it and then we
no. Right. Now there's 3 questions
again.
where the men have to answer about their wives. Okay?
you're
So
answering about
just
me
to
now.
clarify for Dale, you're answering what Vicky would say.
Right.
Right?
Oh, you were asking.
What is their most annoying habit?
Of mine.
Yes. What is your most annoying habit?
We have a lot. Oh, about me.
What's my most
What did
annoying?
you say? You scolded me tonight again.
No, this is about me.
I know, but you always scold about me.
But that's not about you.
If Dale doesn't say this answer, there's something wrong. Oh, wait.
This song.
Okay.
He's ready?
I think we'll get this.
Yeah.
No, you would scold
Dale
about
and
me.
Vicky, what'd you say?
Giving off.
You're not
TikTok.
supposed to tell me.
Yeah, point.
Screen time.
Me and Jess, you take all the bed, you sleep like a starfish.
I do. I said telling Andrew off.
Oh. Lorraine and Adam,
I'm telling me off.
what did Lorraine write?
Crying.
Crying school.
Close enough. Point. You get your first point. Well done. Well done. Next question. What would they say they are really good at?
Oh. I don't know.
Geez, you're straight
I
in
don't
there.
know.
Dale.
Um,
No, yeah, this one.
okay. I really hope we've got this the
Right,
same.
we'll go first. Baking.
Yes, baking, cooking.
Yes. We needed that. Adam and Lorraine, cooking.
Being right.
Unfortunately, that's wrong. And Vicky and Dale,
Doing what I'm told.
lip syncing videos.
Oh,
Okay, if we get this, we can come back. Final question. Adam and Lorraine haven't a hope. We can get this and draw with Vicky and Dale. Okay. Who is their hero?
My hero.
I was hoping that would be asked to me, and then I could have said
well, we definitely know who your hero
Donald
is.
Trump.
Yeah.
Who's your hero?
Okay.
Who would I answer that? You know me?
I have no idea.
Just think, Dale, off. I get like a, oh, thank God.
They're trying to cheat again.
No, I'm not.
Right, me and Jess will go first.
Okay.
I said me.
No.
Oh, it was so obvious.
My daddy.
Oh, that was so obvious.
Oh, we're going to change this from my.
Lorraine and Adam.
And me too.
Me.
Yes, that's what you should have answered.
Why would I put you as my hero?
Just to clarify, that is not correct.
Yeah, you just went for the
You just wanted the
points.
win.
Are we winning?
No, we didn't.
No.
No, honey, you're not.
Oh, Dale's still changing his answer. He really overthinks things, doesn't he? Okay.
Our relief milkers. Nightel.
Okay,
Nighttime.
another
Okay.
point for Vicky and Dale. So our winners are, no surprise to anyone, Vicky and Dale. Me and Jess and Lorraine and Adam are joint last. Okay, so
Terrible.
that's our introductions. Hopefully you know something a little bit more about us. We're now going to move on to our first section, which we titled Insta versus Reality. And it's kind of to give you all an insight into what farming is like and what our journey through farming has been like. And we're going to start with how we all got into farming. So all of us came into farming in different ways. And I think we'll start with Vicky, since she came from
Yeah.
a town and ended up on a
I'm
farm.
a fraud amongst many farmers, but I was born and reared in Enniskillen. And then me and Dale went to the same secondary school, so we are high school sweethearts. We've been together since the age of 15. I never once stepped foot in a farm. My dad and my sister's here, they can vouch for that. Never was on a farm before. But at the age of 15, 16, all Dale was ever doing was driving a tractor for a contractor, and if I ever wanted to see him, I had to sit in the passenger seat of said tractor. Mum and Dad literally was saying, right, which field's he in now? We'll come and lift you here. And every weekend I was directing them from field to field to come and lift me. And the rest is really history. The more time I spent on the farm with him and learning through him, I just fell in love with farming. It's really just it. And then we got married at the age of 23 and continued to have 3 children. I continued to work my job while Dale took over the farm since he was 18. I was there supporting late nights and weekends, and then it wasn't really until we had our 3rd child I was like, hold on a minute here, what am I doing? I don't want to be working for a corporate company. I want to be at home milking cows, rearing calves alongside him, and that's really how I got into farming with him. And Dale, do you want to?
Oh, yes.
When you say Dale was farming it from 18,
No,
like were you running the farm at 18? What happened?
I was doing a year plumbing, didn't stick it, then come home and my father heard me, I was pushing too hard. He gave me 6 months at it and then just went on then.
What do you mean? Your dad said,
We're milking 40 cows
yeah,
and I told him we're going to go to 60 and he said, you'll never milk 60 cows.
right, and then you were like, I will.
Yeah,
Okay, how many milking now?
there's 189 going through.
That's quite a big difference.
and it was Montbelliards at the time.
He had 40 in Billiard, he bought cows there from.
And did you just always want to farm?
Yeah, milk cows, yeah. We started milking in 2004, 4th of July 2004,
What age were you then?
14.
14. We're the same age. Wouldn't think it.
I look older, I look more stressed.
The hairline gives it away.
Yeah.
And then, did your dad step back from the farm?
He always had a part-time job driving a lorry, and like he'd come home out drive the lorry, and he's still driving a lorry.
Okay. And then was it dating a tactical choice by you, being like, I've got some help on the farm, don't have to pay her?
There was always help. Like there was always, we would have had part-time help, maybe 3 days a week. But then that part-time help then went on to do their own farm, and then you were trying to look for more help. And just as Dale grew, the pressure built and there was the workload built, and as Dale was like, right, we rear all our replacement heifers, so there was just such a big workload for Dale to take on, and it just made sense. Why would I go continue to work in a job that I absolutely hated whenever I could be at home doing what I absolutely loved? And family-wise, it's very tough, but there's so much flexibility with our kids. Like they're 10, 8, and 5. There's not a day that they don't need run from A to B or something in the school, and whenever there's the 2 of us, we can say, right, well, we can do that job later on. Yes, we might be working out all hours at night, but we got to see the children at sports day, or we got to see them in their assembly. So it works both ways. Having us both at home on the farm has its pros and its cons, I suppose. But
And do you still love farming just as much?
Yeah. I think it's got into a wild rat race.
It has.
We used to milk, say, 80 cows, and we used to work 67 there, max 6, and go out and cut 80 acres, and lots of neighbours would roll up in trailers, and I'd push, and everyone knock in. But now it's just 1 or 2 days weather, and it's just a rat race.
Yeah.
You're looking at the weather, and next thing you need 3 sets of butterflies, 2 harvesters, 2 shovels, and just get the thing in. There's no crack in it anymore.
Yes, it has changed a lot.
unless you're Andrew.
I have the same problems. So I'm a bit different in that I would say I never wanted to farm. Like one of 4 brothers, none of us ever planned to farm.
When you were a child growing up, like were you
When I was a child.
Did you do any carpet farming?
What's carpet farming? No, not really. No, I was there. I was planes, planes, model
You needed to be a big carpet.
Wanted to join the army for like 4 or 5 years, then decided I wanted to be an architect for a year, and then ran out of what I wanted to do in 6th lower and just went for the easy course to get into, which was agriculture, 2 B's and a C. Ended up doing agriculture at Queen's, and then kind of just accidentally ended up farming, but kind of really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
But I enjoyed the business part of it. So I'm definitely, I don't particularly like cows.
Would you not find the milk cows, your heart has to be in it?
Yeah, but
Not for Andrew.
no, not really. No, I do. I have learned to really appreciate farming, and it's a fantastic job. But I didn't end up in it because I loved it as a child.
Yeah.
I was like inside watching movies on Saturday afternoon and not out in the farm. But I think that's given me a different perspective on it.
You've kind of had your time away and come back, whereas Dale hasn't seen outside the
I
farm.
haven't seen the light of day.
He doesn't know there's another life out there.
Well, farming's a good job, yeah. And what's Adam's story? Like, I've heard little bits and pieces, a lot of rumours fly about the Killings, you know?
Square them up there, Alan.
Hot gossip all the time about the Killings. But what I've heard is that you had a fairly small farm whenever you were younger, and you have just like worked like mental to get to where you are now. You can fill in all the blanks.
So we started about 45 acre, and my father went and bought. So whenever I kind of came home from school, we started at 70 acre. Whenever I returned from school,
You were the first one
Yeah.
home, and then there was more.
I went to college. So my parents always wanted us to go and do a trade. So if anything was to go wrong in the farming, you always had something to go back onto, which I think was very good to have at the time. No matter where we went, our heart always lay at the farm. So when we went to do a day's work, it was I wonder what Dad's doing at the house, or I wonder what them boys are doing at the house, or you know yourself, you were at the job, but your heart was always, or your head was always wondering what was happening on the farm. So everybody went on their trades, but the brother above me, Fully, he argued with Dad for a long time after school. He wasn't going to get a trade, he was working at home. So I remember my dad, he done the rounds, went around everywhere trying to get Fully. Somebody detect my son, somebody get him away from the farm. So Fully was the start of the trend where Dad was starting to go, right, I'm struggling to get some of these boys away. So I already watched how he prepared for that. So I was like, right, I'll know how to hit Dad the other way. So whenever Fully had them answers for him, I'll have an or answer and I'll target him an or way. So my agreement me and my father had was go to college. And I remembered I argued for a long time if I go into college, but my dad had a bit of advice and he was very good. He says, as Dale says, you'll be long enough at home, go out and see the big world, meet different people, and he was right. I have some brilliant friends, look at different parts of the whole country, you know, and so did my time there, I enjoyed myself, I came home. It actually taught me bad habits, because at home you were like up at 6 in the morning or 7, at college you're up at 8:30, and that was a disaster, but anyway. So came home, and we started from there. So whenever I started, the brothers were still working. Fully had a job then again, somewhere he got a place. So he was like, right, somebody needed to go to Slurry. So I went and done Slurry with a tanker. We wanted a tractor and tanker. And then we're like, oh, somebody's trying to cut silage. I can't be in 2 places at once. So I would have got our trailed harvester and I would have set it to the next farm. And the minute Johnny or some brother was finished work early, he went home and started to cut that boy's silage. And that's how it really took off. Started the Slurry. 20-hour days, it was madness. Like, we would have left at 5 in the morning. We might not have seen our yard at daylight. We would have went and worked all day. And so we had an old parlour and we were trying to push the cows up and trying to push the contracting up. It was really a rat's, no, you were really just pushing and pushing and pushing and pushing. So everything that we done was really hard work and a massive amount of sacrifice was put on. So we got to the stage where we are today, but I can tell you it was hard at the time. There was a wee issue in the family that happened, which I think if that never happened, we would never have been fit to progress to where we are now. The other party would have said, no chance you are doing what you are doing, but that happened. We pushed on hard. Chippies, 10 o'clock at night, trying to rush in the chippy before they closed. 8, back out to the yard, up again at 4. We bought a herd of cows. 4 in the morning, started at 3:30, finished milking at 9 o'clock, 9:15, and getting breakfast back out, started contracting.
Wait, you started milking at 3:15 in the morning?
3:30, you went out, yeah. Because it took 45 hours in the morning.
And was
We
there-
actually came up with the idea, we're like, right, we're too early and we're too late milking, so I wonder if we do it 3 times a day. thinking, oh, I might quit speeding up the milking. So it turned out we're like, it's too hard on the heifers to push into 3 times a day. So Gordy started it. We all did our turns. Like for all us boys, we done our dishes. Whenever we were at home, we have our own seats in our kitchen. And even today, we go in the house, we still sit in our own seats in the farmhouse. They're sitting on our seats every time they get off. Like.
And they are deadly serious. Like they
Deadly
would
serious.
look at
We
you
had
as
our dishes night. Back in the farmhouse, not now really, but so that like, we were
They do the
quite
dishes at home.
adapted to our routine, and yeah, just worked a lot and advanced. And
What did you hear?
Pretty much that they were just crazy. They worked really, really hard.
really hard.
Yeah.
Every one of us. So I came home first, as in because of the college, and then Johnny, and then Folly and Gordy and Chrissy, and then Robbie. Robbie's only brother. He's the
And
only-
where does this come from? Like, why do all 6 of you have this attitude?
I didn't
of,
get 2 B's and a C, maybe.
I got 3 B's.
Believe it or not, I'll be honest with you, I actually never took into the farming. It was about 14 before. Now, when we say routines, we still did our mornings milking, so now you're going real back in my... I think whenever we were a certain age, about 2nd year, you then took over the milking routine in the morning, so you always helped Dad milk. So you would have done that before school. So, but same as Plobby with Annie, I'll be honest about it, it was nearly forceful in going out. I did my turn, I was a brother, I was part of this year, but about 14 or 15, I was massively into my rugby. But still did it Sundays. We all are brothers, you didn't really have the choice, you got slaved out. Either come out or be slaved out, you choose.
Yeah.
So went out, but after 14, that was it. That was my life.
That became normal.
That became normal. I wanted to do it.
Yeah.
I wanted to do it, so.
It's like Stockholm syndrome.
Eh?
It's like Stockholm syndrome. You get used to it. And Lorraine, how did you fit into this?
Well, we met and you were still milking at 4 o'clock in the morning, and I'm not gonna lie, it was not easy. I spent most Saturdays and Sundays. I remember I had never been past like New Buildings Village ever before, and he sent me up to, where was it? Newton Stewart. I did not know where this place was. Like
What do you mean you'd never been past? Like you just...
No, like it was, I came from Korean, lived
Yes.
outside Korean, and I was coming up the road and I had no idea where I was going. All I got from him was going up this road, turn in there, go in there, there's a big house there, don't go in there. And then it just was like, that was the height of the directions.
Okay.
Then you got told off, so I just dropped her a pin from then onwards.
No, there was no pins on them days. But yeah, like it was like, I remember St. Patrick's Day, and I left the house 8 o'clock in the morning and from Korean, and I went up and I sat beside you all day whenever you were at Slurry.
Even today, like I still have my milking. So there's 6 brothers, my father, and we still have so it's hard to explain, but because there's 6, if there's 7, it'll be every day a week. But because there's 6, you have to move the weeks forward. So like I'm on tomorrow morning at 4:35, so we've moved it back to 5, which is brilliant. But
Big improvement.
So and then every other Sunday we work. So we have 1 Sunday off or 2 Sundays off every month. That's our time off. That's it.
Well, this might be a
And
good...
then if a weller's combining and silage, like I think all of us work 3 months, not a day. We never stop.
This is probably a good transition into...
One extreme to the
into family life, which is our next sort of topic, life on the farm. So we'll come back to you, and we'll chat about it first. How is family life marrying a farmer? Because Jessica is not actively involved in the farm.
No, so I'm the one you don't see on social media because apparently I don't fit the farm theory brand.
I have never said that.
You have said that.
I just said, I don't know. Yeah. I knew having couples was a bad idea.
Yeah. If you think Andrew's stubborn, you haven't met me. Well, I suppose I should briefly explain kind of my origins.
Yes.
I was raised on my father was a part-time beef farmer, very much raised in the farming world, Saturdays would have been spent on the farm, really enjoyed it, but I'm not going to lie, the one person I never wanted to marry was a farmer.
That happens a lot.
Yeah, and I
Yeah.
remember being 16 in my room about to go on my first date with Andrew, and I actually stood there and said to myself, Jessica, are you seriously going to date a farmer? I did, and here we are today. I'm the only one that doesn't work on the farm.
Yeah.
I've never been asked to, and I think that's a good thing. I don't think we
You
would
did
work.
help with the milking
I've milked twice,
twice.
and I never got paid. Yeah, I think I've milked twice in the new parlour, but that was when like there were literally times where it was like, there's literally nobody else
Scraping
on
the
this
barrel.
earth to
Yeah.
milk tonight, Jessica. Everybody else is doing silage or whatever it was. Like you have to help, and I don't think we got on too well during those situations.
We wouldn't work
But
well together.
We wouldn't work well together. I say I do work on the farm. I'm just Andrew's full-time childcare, cleaner, laundrette. I'm doing all those things. But I do have my own career, so I suppose I see farming really from the sidelines,
Yeah.
if that's correct to say.
Yeah. You do think it's crazy.
I do think it's crazy. Like, farm life is not for the faint-hearted, and I'd say the majority in here could understand that tonight. It is very full on. I didn't expect to be very nicely put, to be raising children a lot of the time on my own. But I think a lot of people now, I suppose Andrew's maybe a wee bit different with this, is that like you come home and then start, like your farming life ends and then like the farm theory begins.
Yeah.
That's the army coming out on you.
Yeah,
I
so
spend
like,
a lot of
so
time.
everybody's like, oh, Andrew must be at home, and I'm like, no, he's in like what he calls his office, which is really the children's playroom with with a desk to the side, and that's where he would like sit and code until 1 a.m.
That's my happy space.
That's his happy space. Like, I don't think I've ever been on holiday with you and you've not taken your computer or coded or any of that. But I have.
like going, we are here for you, Andrew. We're here to support.
It's an intervention.
But that's just the reality of being a wife in this world, and I have great admiration for Andrew's work ethic. I have great admiration for the farming community, but my farming life and family life probably looks maybe a wee bit different to everybody else. That, like say, like you, Vicky, that would work full time on the farm as
Yeah.
well.
It's very, yeah, it's like for us, when you're both in it, it's very chaotic. It's like, but we changed back to 3 times milking there in November, and yes, it was tough at the beginning trying to get all the people in the right place, but us milking then at before that, sorry to bring it back, because the children are involved in so many activities, I'd have left Dale milking in the evening milking, and I'd have went and brought them to where they needed to be and everything, whereas now we're both there. In an ideal world, like Dale says, oh well, I'll be finished at 2:30. Right. But if we need to be somewhere, we can both make time to be there, and without the help and support of parents. Like yesterday we had hoof trimming and we both had to be up and out for milking at 4:30. I had to be out there pushing around cows. The hoof trim people, they landed at 6 o'clock. My mum drove from Enniskillen to look after the kids at that time of the morning to get them up and out to school. That's the thing people don't see.
Yeah.
It takes an army of people to try and help us because we are both involved in it. Say Andrew had something on the farm or Adam was doing something, Lorraine like, well, you've got your own jobs, yes, but at the weekends, you have kids, whereas like we're trying to do that with the kids and with everything else. It is a bit chaotic, but at the same time, coming from a town and seeing what it was like growing up in the town, I just want my children to be so involved, because I think it's the best thing for them to witness. Like, I asked a child the other day at a group, we were just talking about where their food comes from, and I was like, oh, where does your steak come from? And they were like, pigs. And what did I say, where's burgers come from? And they were like, beef. And I was like, where does the beef we've come from, I was like, if you ask my children, they'd be like, if I said, what way do you want your steak, Poppy will say rare, like the blood pouring out of it, because she knows that the work that's gone into it and everything, whereas there's children that just don't know that, and I think it's so important to have your children involved in it, growing up with it.
The schools should teach more of that. The schools should.
There is something in our school, is there?
There was the Ulster Farmers Union have done something with.
But I do believe it's the best way to raise a child.
Yeah.
There's no better way to be raised than on the farm, to be honest.
Yeah.
I've experienced that, and all of our children are experiencing that.
Yeah.
But it is sometimes I'm like, well, do schools really need to teach that, or could we just, like, maybe parents have that discussion in like the middle of Asda?
Yeah, that's a good point, actually.
But it is, unless your child obviously comes from a family that support it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, they're making that decision for their child instead of the child making that decision or learning about it themselves. Do you know what I mean? But I don't know, Lorraine, like you're probably single parenting.
The way Jessica puts it is that she is the default parent.
Well,
So,
well,
Yeah.
like somebody asked me a few months ago, and we have 2 children before I mentioned this, and they said, how does it feel to be a single parent of 3 children? I think that's it, but yeah, I call it default parenting. There's always the default parent that does about the majority of the stuff.
yeah.
Yeah, no, it's definitely tough. I have a full-time job as well. And it's just a real balancing act, you know. And then I suppose whenever the phone rings and you get those, can you milk tonight, or where can you go and pick this up? We've had a breakdown.
It's not ready yet.
There's no one he's actually learned to do. He gets one of his brothers to ring me,
Oh, well, that's smart.
because then I would tell him to clear off, and I don't do that to his phone. But yeah, it's, I suppose, being honest
It's
with
probably
you.
been harder when the weans are very young. It's too dangerous.
Yeah.
So my eldest there now is 5, and he's okay now. He knows to keep up with me. If I walk, he runs and keep up beside me. And I know it's safe. He's not know if there's a hole, he'll know to go around it. You know what I mean? But ideally, I would be massively to bring them. I would be.
See,
Come on.
that's my issue with Andrew, is you have to keep a certain pace with Andrew, and the children aren't consistent with that pace. So then it's always me, like, behind the 2 children, supporting that.
Yeah.
But I think it is good to bring them out. I would be I'm really into keeping the weans and farming. Like, to me, that's brilliant. Like, I take Max up every Sunday to milk, and he's absolutely useless and does nothing. And I end up running out. He chases the cows down the cubicle. Oh, he's good. He has his help, to be fair. He chases the cows down.
5.
He's still.
Here, the same boy, but if you put him on the payroll, you might see a change. But
No, he says he gets more money now playing football, so he wants to do a footballer instead. He seems to have his money well worked out then. But like, I bring him anytime.
yeah.
He's so, I want to go on the tractor. 10 seconds later, I want to do the tractor. Like, what is the point?
No, he doesn't want to. He doesn't want to go with you. He wants to go with one of the fellas that
That's
work
'cause
for us.
he eats all their sweets, and I won't give him any sweets because I won't buy him any sweets.
But no, like, definitely now, being honest with you, like, this kind of stage in like my life is very different than what I suppose I thought it was. Now, like, I'm a contractor's daughter, so I knew what I was marrying into, but I don't think I kind of really was prepared for the scale of kind of what we have here, because like, you kind of, mornings you're milking, you're away before anybody even, you know, surfaces, and you know, like there was a week there
Really quiet leaving the house, I made
no. There was a week there back in January, and you didn't come home. You left on the Monday morning, and you didn't come home until the Friday night. You were separating Slurry, and that was tight going. Like, it was tough because the kids were.
You're living the dream, Adam.
I was happy.
That's what I was thinking too. Yeah. I can relate, yeah.
Only time hurt me. Only thing that actually got to me. I think it was 8 hours sleeping, 6 days we done that thing.
That's awful.
He'll die young.
But he'll
Youths
die
on my
happy.
side. But the brothers all do the same. It's just not me. I mean, like, the other brothers' children are put in beside us. Like, you'd have no idea. You could come and drive to us and you're like, take out Wayne. Or the Wayne will be on the tractor waiting on you. Like, we are so...
There's people who come into our yard and they go like maybe like reps and stuff like that, and they have genuinely like they could be there every week, every month, and they have no idea what child belongs to who. Because
I'd say if you asked them, they still wouldn't know. Like, we just... But it's good because the Waynes all know. Like, it's nearly too bad because I went to the Winters Fair and like Max just stuck with anybody with a tractor or a toy or sweets. That was him going. And I was like, there's no...
Have you ever lost a child?
yes, he did at the Winter Fair
Did
this
he?
year.
Oh.
And then he
I have a disclaimer. That was a whole hammer.
Touchy
to the Winters Fair.
he found him whenever he was
No,
coming
I
up to
never
him with
found-
an 80-pound tractor and trailer, which he had to then back. No, Max had stolen this off the
Yes.
stand.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I was in the hour shade at the Aiken Centre and I was chatting to someone, Max, like that, and I was like,
Wait, so your son was with you?
he was with
And
me.
at what point did you notice he wasn't with you?
Oh, I knew he was away a wee while. He came back. Why hang out with Max is he does
What age is Max?
5.
5, okay. Yeah.
But he did. He looks like me, so somebody's probably knows something here, you know.
Yeah, okay.
But you know, whenever somebody's away too long,
No,
he was
t-
not. I just
any
got that
amount of
feeling, I
time
was
is
like,
too long.
he's away too long. So I started to go and look for him, and I was like, after. Well, it's a whole hand, I shouldn't even be joking. I was panicking. After about
Somebody rang
10
you to tell
minutes,
you he was
my heart
coming.
stopped. I was like, right.
But he'd probably been gone an hour at that stage.
That's true.
That's okay. He
That
was
was a
paid
big
the favour. He
conversation.
stole a tractor off the
Well,
stand.
I got a
Pay
phone
for it.
call. I was panicking then. I was like, my goodness, what have I done? How do I ring Lorraine? Oh, disaster. So my friend rang me and goes, I think your cub's walking up the shade, sleeping a big tractor. I was like, right, at least he's coming back to where I left him, where he lost me. He left me. I didn't leave.
That is true.
He left me.
That is true.
Again, he's 5.
So, surely to goodness, I walked around there, he was sleeping in this big tractor. And everybody looking at him. And I says, gee, sir, where'd you get that from?
That was the proudest moment of Adam's life.
I was glad he knew to come back to where he left me at. I was
It was
happy as I
actually
could
because
be.
it was a John Deere that he stole.
That's the
Oh.
point.
Right there.
And I was like, where did you get that? What did he say? I'm fed up waiting on you, so I went to show you the toy that I wanted. And that wasn't even the worst of it. So I says, we need to go and pay for this. So we walked through 4 rows to the second shade.
Yeah.
And I says, look, I'm sorry, my son took this, I want to buy this. It was £80. If I knew what it was, I would have considered, come on ahead, you've got this far, come on ahead.
Can
But
you
anyway,
believe Adam Killen was complaining
The wee-
about spending £80 on machinery?
the wee boy, the man standing there goes, is that your son? And I says, I am well sorry about this. He goes, you know, that man's been about here. You came about 1 o'clock. I says, I did. He says, that man's been here about 15 times a day. And I was standing there going, we only walked past you once. We've been at the hour shade. So I obviously lost him a lot. They want to get me back.
The truth is, Adam forgot he brought his son for about 3 hours. And then he was like, wait a minute, I came with someone. I swear I came with someone.
I
I know what
always
the
kept,
problem is, but Adam is kind of a bit of a reputation, let's just say. And anybody who goes to a show with Adam vows they're never going to a show with him again because all he does is talk.
I'm so
Even
sociable.
if he has no intention of buying anything, he will stand and like genuinely talk
Oh.
and talk and talk. And it used to be great whenever I was pushing the buggy because you used to hypnodrive and be like, you know, get a move on. But even Max, he came home and he was like, I'm never going there with Dad again. Even he's
But to be
promised.
fair, he didn't really go with you, did he?
He sort of went on his own, really.
He got a lift with you.
Actually, got me home there again. He said, I'm not going with you, you're too slow. And I was like,
That's a brilliant story. That's one for TikTok.
no, it's a Helen.
Social services.
That's
to do
what
it.
I say, they're knocking on my door.
Yeah.
I actually thought I'd get the wee tab, he put it in their colour, so if he does run off, I'll
Was
just...
he
An
wearing
AirTag.
a...
Air tag.
Or whatever, tag.
He could wear a
It
Killen
beeps,
Brothers
it beeps
merch.
at him whenever he goes too far away, or shocks him or something.
Just put him in killing merchandise.
So yeah, family life is fabulous.
Yeah, I think it's fairly common that everyone's farming life and family life sort of gets mashed together. And we are very grateful that we have other halves to let us live our life in peace. I say that we're trad dads, traditional dads.
Yes,
You know,
you love that title.
work all the time.
That's
See-
the way I was brought up.
Yeah, exactly.
That's the way I
Traditional dads. Yeah.
In all fairness, like, see if Adam was coming in every night at 5 o'clock,
Oh,
Oh,
never
no.
last.
I would
Never.
have him hung around the
Oh,
corner.
yeah.
I could not cope. I honestly would be standing in the way. It
I was
would be.
finished, lad. I was finished in January every night at 6 o'clock. I'd slept in the tractor.
But see, whenever you're not
Aye.
used to it, like my dad was never,
Yeah.
you know, and like if he was home, he was in through the dinner and I'm on the way back out again.
Yeah.
You know, so I was never used to.
What Vicky and Dale do is crazy to me. Working together, just
No, I couldn't.
But with Dale,
I wouldn't mind working with me. You say, pull your weight, keep it up, flat out.
No, I would have you. I would be killed.
See,
do you know, I think,
I don't need Andrew around. I just need his credit card.
but I think what's different for us because I'm still very much learning, so I'm very like taking his word for it. If you know what I mean, it'd be different if I too was reared in a dairy farm and I'd be like, no, you're wrong, Dale. Your opinion's wrong. I'm taking everything he says to be right. Do you know, like, and I'm learning with him, and I'm always coming to him, and Dale's technically boss, you could say, but.
What happens if Dale says you did something wrong? But that's what I would.
I am a very defensive person. So if he says you've done that wrong, I says, well, you've told me to do it the wrong way. Like, no, I'm a perfectionist. So if Dale tells me I've done something wrong, there's a loophole out of it. Like,
I can imagine Dale's very mellow though. I can't imagine Dale would ever get angry.
do you know what really annoys me,
You should
right?
put the uncut walkie-talkie TikToks up.
Do you know what really annoys me? Say, for example, right, and I'm going to use Shannon because she's there, right? Say if Shannon did something wrong, it'd be, you're okay, Shannon, don't worry about it. Shannon's one of our relief milkers, by the way. If Shannon did something, oh, that's all right, Shannon, don't worry about it. If that was me, see, you should know, well, what are you doing? I told you. So that's kind of how the relationship goes. Like, Dale will tell me if I've done something wrong and I know about it. But if anyone else does anything wrong,
But maybe
don't worry
Shannon
about
never
it,
does
it's
anything
fine.
wrong.
Yeah, Shannon's good.
Right, we'll move on to our final topic of this part of the evening, which is about social media. So the first question I have is, how do you do TikTok whenever Dale dislikes it so much? Is that like a?
But
is
do
that?
you
amount of
actually
people-
dislike a deal?
Yeah, do
or
you
do-
actually
like,
dislike it?
Dale
is this
secretly
like,
He's
oh, I don't
warming
like
to
it?
it, you know. He's starting to get free stuff.
Will we see
so he's
a
starting to
Dale?
warm into it.
Will we see a Dale account in 2025?
I have an account. I had an account before you, way back.
He did.
Ever
Dale
posted
follows
it?
me on TikTok.
Was he?
He's deleted his, his
No, I have
account's
deleted
still,
follow me.
it. The account's
the
there.
account's still live, but he's deleted the app.
I just find it a wild waste of time.
Yes.
You could sit down at breakfast and go on TikTok, and the next thing 2 hours later,
I mean, I'm not that bad.
Do you think, Adam?
You are that bad.
It's a business.
You are that bad.
it's a
It's
wild
work.
distraction.
It is a wild distraction.
Must be a man.
So
Dale
I
asks-
had to remove it.
So Dale asks, because I say, Dale, you're really the only one. Like, you would have like your own Instagram and stuff, Jess. You would do social media for yourself.
Just
but
for me.
Dale does nothing, whereas Adam does, Andrew does, and he was like, how do these men get time to do it? And I'm like, it's different because like your videos, Adam, is very like in the moment post.
Oh, aye.
There's no editing, there's no nothing.
I don't know how to
So
do
I
it.
says
And if
to
I take
Dale,
it to Lorraine, I get told off how you do it wrong, so I just
Yeah.
stick it up.
if Dale's
And have the
Snapchat-
public tell you how to do it.
He uses Snapchat and he's forever sending Snapchats to his friends. And I'm going, if you can do that, you can upload it to TikTok,
Yeah.
where it's literally as easy as that. When you go into editing and stuff, like,
Yeah.
it takes time. But in the beginning, completely disagreed with it. No. And he was like, just get the work done, Vicky, take the effing phone out of your hand, what are you doing? You were like, I asked you to do that an hour ago, and I'm like, yeah, hold on, I'm just replying to a comment here. But now, I've kind of got to a point where, in my head, I'm like, right, if I post a video this time, leave the phone, and then get my work done, I kind of know when Dale's not around
Yes. You can be sneaky.
to take the phone out and do a video, and then
It's a good job he doesn't have TikTok, then he can't
Aye.
find out.
no. But I would show him because
Yeah.
he's very keen to read everyone's comments. And I'm like, here's what such and such has said. Somebody thinks you look like Rip from Yellowstone. And then he goes, show me that there. And then he starts looking. When he got his new tractor, oh, let me go into this to see what everyone's comments were. He's very like,
He loves the gossip.
yes.
Yes.
But
very
what
well.
farmer doesn't, Andrew?
Yes, exactly.
No, in the beginning he was very against it, and I was very much trying to push it, and I was wanting to get videos out there, and he didn't really see where I was coming
So
from.
why did you start?
Why did I start? I started at that stage of wanting to be so involved in farming and wanting to, really be in the dairy industry, really wanting to learn, but none of my friends were in the same boat because I didn't obviously come from a farming background. I didn't have any connections. And even now, my bestest friend is married to a dairy farmer and wouldn't step foot in the farm. Like, she's not involved like I am.
Well, no, we're not invited.
Well, that's true, yeah.
Lorraine has
We're
a
not
skill
welcome.
of not do. Don't if I'm asked her to do something, do it very badly. So I'll never ask her to do it again.
Exactly.
No.
That
I caught on very, very early to never show yourself to be too useful.
Useful.
Because if you do,
That's
anything
literally
else
No, but
is
to be
not
fair-
farmer yet, do not anything they ask you to do, you just do it really, really badly, and they'll never ask you to do it again.
Yeah.
That's your mistake, Vicky. You're a perfectionist. But you also
Yeah.
love it.
So it was actually on a hen party one night. My friend was like, "Oh, you should follow this girl," and he's probably all know her, Anna Truesdale. "You should probably follow this girl. You'd really like her." And she kind of inspired me to start Instagram. So then I started doing bits on Instagram, and then with TikTok at that time, I was milking cows with Ina Grace in a back carrier, and scraping cubicles, and taking videos off it and uploading it, and it started to get interest, and a lot of people liked, this woman in agriculture farming with children and seeing that side of it. And then I started to show more of my personality and music and dancing and lip singing and kind of taking the piss out of farming. So this stuff happens on everybody's farm. This bad stuff happens on everybody's farm. Let's make a joke out of it.
Yeah.
And it's turned into something now, trying to make light heart of a really bad situation. And I suppose everyone goes on to Instagram or TikTok for different reasons. I myself would go on to take my mind off something, and I just want to laugh, or I want to, see what everyone else is at. Whereas you might maybe go on to Andrew's to learn something, or you might go on to Adam's to see what they're at today. Everyone goes on to social media for different things, whereas I wanted to create this
You're so unique.
area.
You do that so well, because whenever you watch your video, you either come away and think, "Gosh, she's so crack," or "She's not wise."
Yeah.
It's either one of
There's
those
only
things.
one.
That really started. That actually used
Her
like,
deal.
Deal.
Her
No.
I
He
used to
really
get that.
did.
Married
He
to a
did,
crazy woman.
Yeah. People. It was actually the milk tanker driver actually said, "The amount of people say you're not wise," and I actually says, "No, she's all right." Oh, thanks very much. People are like, Deal would say, "They don't think you're wise. They think, oh, you're a crazy woman." Depends what way you put it.
Yeah.
But it's like, okay, I don't know. Like, people take life too seriously. You gotta have a bit of crack.
I agree.
You gotta laugh.
Yes.
There's no point in being a Debbie Downer every day, especially in farming and agriculture, so much can get you down. And I think for me, I always see a positive, laugh it off, and get on with it. But to answer the question with social media with Dale, he still would be like, "Becky, get the work done, put the phone down." What to do, I think I'm trying to get there with, but I still always have this pressure in the back of my head that I have this social media thing that I need to keep actively going and make videos for. Is that my microphone? So there's a pressure of trying to create content while farm,
Yes.
which is hard.
Yeah. I think the thing which I think people don't get about social media, and maybe this is just me, but I think Vicky has some of this as well, it does almost feel like a job at times.
Yeah.
Like, I think all of us started it because it's something we wanted to do,
Yeah.
and it started off as like a hobby and not serious. But you put so much time and effort into it, and then you start getting results and things that benefit you.
Yeah.
And for me, it's really taken a turn in the last, maybe 6, 7, 8 months, where it has moved from something I just do because I enjoy to something which I can see an awful lot of potential with. And it's exactly the same as having a farm. And you have ambitions with a farm, you want to build a cattle shed next year, you want to buy a tractor. And I think social media took a turn. Now I have things I want to try with it, things that I can develop it into. And I think that's sort of, I've moved from just doing it for fun to now doing it more as like I can see a real potential with this to actually influence things, to impact things, to make it a separate business.
Yeah.
And I think you sort of alluded it to at the start, but I think maybe Dio is starting to think more like that from getting like discounts and stuff.
Everything's gone to social media now.
Everything
It's like
has, yeah.
you want to, like even if we were going to get something new, like the time whenever we were looking into robot scrapers, the first thing we did was go on and see was there a video on TikTok or YouTube of somebody actually using the scraper. Like everybody goes to social media to look for videos of people using a product or doing, you know, whatever. Whereas how I would have known you would have been you were documenting yourself making meals for all the boys and then torture chamber. Yeah.
Yeah, yours are slightly different in that you both do social media. So how does that work?
Is it a competition? No.
No.
Lorraine lost, that's how
Alistair McKelvey, I see him sitting down there. He rang Adam one day and must have said something about you need to get back or you'd start making YouTube videos, proper YouTube videos. And I had just had our second baby, and I don't know, I just was so not. I was like, no, it's too much hard work. Like no, and nobody wants to see me here. Nobody wants to hear what I have to say. And then you said to me, I don't know, I had something like rubbish in my hand, and he said to me, I bet you cannot get that in the fire. Lorraine took aim, took shot. Missed gloriously.
I knew I was going to win because she has crap. She is so bad. Like an open fire, she would have the TV. Like there is no direction.
That is very, very rigid. But no, and so that's how I started.
Lost the bet. That's how we started right off.
Wow.
Yeah.
And had you never edited stuff before? Because I always remember your photos on Facebook.
We done the kiln blowers on Facebook.
But then you must have been interested in that to do the editing and stuff like that.
So if I take these way, way, way back, near enough 20 years ago, I did media studies for A-level at school, and I always really, really, really loved media. And although social media wasn't, that's back in the day of Bebo. Remember that, Bebo?
Oh goodness, yeah.
You Bebo, did you do?
We used to do MSN Messenger at night after school.
Oh gosh, mind that. And then dial-up.
Yeah.
The Blackberry.
Yeah.
Oh. Really, Shona Reid? No, so I had done that all at school, and it was always just something I had a flair for. I never had to think too much of it. I could just, and I actually came away and I done it for A-level, and I got the highest grade in media studies in the UK.
No way.
Yeah, that's my claim to fame. That's my only good story.
That's very impressive.
But yeah, it was always just something that I was always really interested in, and I suppose as time went on, like I was working for the NFU in the Valley at the time, and I was the first NFU and UFU office that had a Facebook page because I made it. They all thought I was mad. Like I remember my boss Brian was like, "This is ridiculous. What are you doing?" And I was like, "Trust me, just trust me."
Yeah.
And sure, now look, it's your social media is kind of, it's where you go to for your news, it's where you go to for, everything now. It's funny. I think I always kind of just seen it as there was an awful lot more to come, in terms of like the word of like business and everything. And I'm at the point now where I have another like a wee sort of like a sideline as well, where I actually will help businesses with their social media. I sort of specialise in like farming and construction, so I do a bit of that there as well. And yeah, YouTube kind of just came from a very bad aim, really.
Accidentally.
But it's been.
It has potential. It's just
Time is the issue.
But I seen there we were in Birmingham, Vicky, over the weekly award.
Yeah.
And you and Vicky's also, I'm not on social media, like, oh, there's such and such. And I'm like, who's that? Oh, there's such and such. I'm like, all right. When you're not on it, you don't know people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It is sort of like a little bubble.
Yes.
But the bubble is getting bigger and bigger at an unbelievable rate.
what would you say has been a real good thing of social media for the farming industry?
I think it has really big effects now, and it means that the lobbying that farmers have done is more effective. I'll give you a really good example. The whole inheritance tax thing, whether Labour changed it or not, I think an awful lot has been achieved almost entirely through social media, in that people like, I was watching a YouTube video which probably has like 7 million views at this point, an interview between Tucker Carlson and Piers Morgan, two of the most famous people across the world, and they spent the last 15 minutes of their show talking about inheritance tax changes in British agriculture. And like, where did they hear that? Did they buy the Farmers Weekly? No. They know all the details about it because of social media. And it's the same with like Elon Musk reposting stuff about British farming, inheritance tax, and the change. And I think there's a really valuable lesson in that if you create enough of like a social media storm, it genuinely does reach every single person. Like,
you think about it, people in the town, what are they, like we're chatting us farmers, flicking through TikTok and YouTube, and that's us in a busy lifestyle.
Yeah.
What's the people in housing estates not doing, or cities?
Yeah.
They live on it, like.
Yeah.
So if they're going to know where milk comes from, either it's coming off that phone, or they're never going to know.
Exactly. Yeah. But that's actually a really serious
You know what
point,
I mean?
because
like farming over the internet now, I know it, and it's starting to pick up. But you think about in the town, there are people that don't come out of farming, they don't have a clue. Like I went to college with Phil, and he didn't know where milk came from, and he was in agricultural college with me. Do you know what I mean? But I think the phone is going to be that way of trying to educate the public of this kind of lifestyle. And I think whenever they actually fully understand it, they'll have nothing again. Like everybody chats about farming, big bad farming. But they just don't really understand. Yeah,
well, the whole narrative around farming for a long time was negative. Like, you couldn't turn on your TV without hearing about how farming was killing the planet. Like, one bad news story to the next. And it's very easy for the public who aren't involved in farming to take that news story, and it sticks in their head, and it gives them a negative view of farming. And they can just adopt it like straight away, farming's bad, okay? But if the reality is, if you're sitting and you're watching Vicky on her family farm in Fermanagh, like, if you hear a negative news story about how farming is killing the planet, you're then thinking, well, wait a minute, that woman loves her calves. She's clearly obsessed with them. Like, even that public having a relationship, even if it is through social media, with an actual farmer, it's much harder for people who want to make us out to be bad people to do that.
Yeah.
Even the likes of the smell of slurry. Nobody likes the smell of slurry. But if you go into yours and see how it grows the grass that the cows eat, even for that cycle, the cycle of what the slurry does in the ground, the regrowth, you know what I mean? People just think, oh, smell shit.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah. Give them an understanding.
Exactly.
Yes. No,
I think social media, as a woman in agriculture, is a massive thing now.
Yeah.
Like, you would have never really seen such many young women wanting to farm. Like, we've a girl that milks for us. She's not necessarily from a farming background. She admires and wants to go to Greyman. She wants to farm. And I just think that's unreal. Like, you wouldn't have heard of that years and years ago. It was always the man farms. And whenever I speak to people that follow, and it was actually a man, and it sticks in my head, it was the night at the Econ Centre. He came over and he goes, oh, Vicky, he says, just want to tell you, he says, I have a wee daughter, and he says, I farm. And she had absolutely no interest in farming. And she grabs my phone at the weekends and watches your video, and she now goes to school telling her friends farming is cool and wants to farm. And I'm just like, for me, that's what social media is about.
Yeah.
Like, it is actually mad, like, how much social media has changed that notion. Because I was one of those girls who was dead set on, at 16, after I'd done my GCSEs, I was going to Greenmount, I was going home, and that was it. You could not turn me. And like, I went to an all girls grammar school, I was going into school, I had blue spray in my hands from doing sheep's feet at the weekend. I had iodine at lambing time. I was sneered at. I was looked at as if I was like yeah, people just thought I was just like, oh, farm girl.
Yeah.
You know, and that was what, you know, I was in the massive minority then, and even then, like going up and going to young farmers and stuff, and, you know, you were just always singled out as being, you know, but like now, like I was, you know, telling you guys before, like our next door neighbour who has absolutely no relations in farming, no knowledge of farming, but we were chatting to her there, and she's in fifth year now doing her GCSEs, and she is doing agriculture for GCSE, and she really, really, really wants to go down that route. Like, this is a girl that lives in a housing estate, basically.
Yeah.
And, you know, I said to her, why? And she was like, because it just looks like such an amazing industry to be a part of. And I remember walking away and just thinking, that's that's unreal that someone with no understanding, really, if that's what they can kind of take away. And basically, that's all she's seen on social media.
Yeah.
And, you know, she has no hands-on experience. But, you know, if that's what the effect that's having, then I think we're doing an all right
I think social
job.
media does play a big part as well in like building a culture around farming. Like it feels like a club,
Yeah.
and people want to
I
get
think
into
it
the
nearly
club.
just shows that we're normal people.
Yeah. Well,
Farmers
hold
are
on a minute. I mean, just don't tell them the story about you getting up at 3:30.
No, but you know what I mean. Like you think of a farmer, you think that's different. That's an outsider. But actually, when they go on the social media, they actually see like whenever I get out of the car and go in the house, I'm like a zombie. Like just walk around the Jeep straight in the house. You know, I'm just ready for bed or whatever. Like, but whenever they go on the TikTok or whatever, they see you like singing or actually realizing that's dead on. That's a bit of crack or that. I didn't think they were happy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They were,
No, it does changes perspectives. Do you have anything to add on the social media part? What do you think of it?
I don't think you want my answer.
I've
all the
never
time,
asked Jessica this.
Well, I have great admiration for what you do. I think the one thing that Andrew has brought to social media is probably education and different topics where a lot of things where we wouldn't have understood, people are now being given the chance to kind of understand. But like before this in before social media, you were just always like bursting with information. Like Andrew would just literally sit at the computer, like trying to.
I get very
like
frustrated.
Like really obsessive.
like farming green.
Jessica used to have to put up with me being like, "Why does no one talk about methane?"
Yes, but it is true.
I know, yeah.
You know, so like Andrew would just literally, or like you would have read through the whole Brexit document at the time from front to back. And then I was the only one in the house that was there to hear this information.
You should feel sorry for her. Social media is a great outlet.
But I actually think it's really given you this amazing outlet to actually be able to give this, I'm sorry for what I'm about to say, but give it to people that care.
No, that's fair.
I do care.
Not really.
But like, I
I'm
think people that would appreciate your knowledge further than maybe what I would sometimes appreciate.
Yes.
Now I get more the politics side of things at home, and one day
She
that'll
still doesn't care, by the way.
I still don't really.
No.
But you kind of learn with Andrew. He doesn't really need praise. He's kind of.
I don't even need her
fine
to
with that.
listen. It's just about
No, he doesn't need me to listen. But I think it has, like, even if you think back, you probably don't really say this very often, but the reason that you even got into coding was when I went off to Scotland to study, and he was at home all alone.
It was brilliant.
So like, so
You're
for
not
4
separated that
years,
week.
I was sympathize. But and you just thrive off learning and information, and
I'm a massive nerd.
I am just so glad that there's now that space to create that, and people can actually ask questions so freely. Like I always say about farmers, you guys have the best product but sometimes it just hasn't been appreciated, and sometimes it has really been such a negative outward impact when I'm like, everybody loves butter and cheese and every vegetable that you eat and your steaks and your meat and everything. There's not one person that doesn't love the product.
Yeah.
But for a long time there, they didn't love the farmer.
Yeah.
And that's slowly starting to change, and you can really see that.
Yeah.
So I love that you now have an outlet for you.
I don't have a bit of steam.
Yeah, well, that anger, that frustration, that like I would have information that I was like, everyone needs to know this.
But see,
But
I
no
get-
one
I
was
get
You
saying it.
have no
I can
clue
picture
how many
you.
times at home he calls people idiots.
You remember maybe Sheldon just flat
Yes,
out
no,
He
that's
is.
actually true. Yeah,
You
crossed
are.
with Dwight, sort of.
He would just sit in the computer and you can see his eyes light up. He literally works like a computer,
Yeah.
and he needs somebody to share that
I'm
information with.
undiagnosed.
Undiagnosed with something. There's no doctor in the world that can help him.
Seriousness, though,
Yeah.
what you do on TikTok,
Yeah.
like your carbon video,
Went
especially.
everywhere. Yeah.
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 But that was because you explained it in such a way that
farmer language.
People level. Like,
Yeah.
because
People could actually
with all-
understand it like in a simple letter.
Yeah, like because with all that sort of stuff, like that stuff,
Yeah.
but it is kind of, if you're in that circle where you're talking about all that stuff all the time, you know, you understand it, and then basically, like, I mean, for me, that just brought my understanding on leaps and bounds.
Well, my
You know,
main.
and I
But like there's
thought I knew
people
about it.
even in my job who have nothing to do with the farming world asking me about your video. I have an issue now where people ask me about Andrew's videos and I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Go to him. But like I just thought it was amazing how far certain things reach that
Yeah.
let's be honest, before they wouldn't have even had an interest in researching, and now we have this. But that's social media for you. Like that's where we're getting our news and our information, and where we are learning. And especially with TikTok, because you're scrolling, sometimes you're learning about things that you didn't even realize you were learning about because you've just come across the video,
Yeah.
and that's education in itself.
Huge potential.
There's also the other side,
The bad side.
the bad side.
See, I don't get abuse, right?
And
I
he's
don't know
raging that he
why.
doesn't.
I don't get it, but I try and like provoke the vegans. I try and get abuse, and no one flipping gives me abuse.
Like you literally got blocked from like the Queen's University
Oh,
vegan
that was
group
yeah.
many years
I used
ago.
to have a great fun with the Queen's University vegan group, but I just can't provoke them.
What annoys me is we don't go out of our way to provoke them.
Well, I do.
See, Andrew
Well,
does.
no, but
Well, it doesn't work.
well, I don't. Okay.
You don't, but you get the
And I
abuse.
get them.
I was like said to you, can you pass some along, please?
Andrew, literally, when I say I've never met a person who thrives more in an argument,
Yeah.
he just loves it.
Yeah. It's the people that don't have the understanding. And they are asking the stupidest questions, like,
Yeah.
why do you take those calves away from their mummies?
The jackets was the big one, do you mean?
Yeah, why do you put coats? Why do you put jackets on the calves? And I'm just like, if you lived in Wet Hole for Manny, you'd want a jacket too. It's just things like that, like people,
Critical comments.
yeah, they
Yeah.
just don't understand it. And then I'm not really one for doing an Andrew and being like, well,
Yeah.
and kind of going back at them. I sometimes just leave it.
Yeah.
Or if I feel I can answer the question, I'll answer the question by highlighting their comment on a video and be like, everybody, could you just answer his question, please? Thank you. But I don't think, there's people there that go out of the way to target us on social media. I'd say there's a few of us in this room that have been targeted by the same person. But I don't know. The bad side of it is trying to deal with the comments.
I think it's hard, like for me, I don't know for every man, like, but I could just thanks for the like and no
Yeah.
thumbs
Yeah.
up, good luck.
It is.
Well,
but for a woman,
It's a
it's
male-
maybe more personal.
You've changed my way on all of that. Like I would have took so much to heart.
You took the report about, hey, do you mind the NI or the...
Yeah, so if any of you watch my videos, Ina Grace, our 5-year-old, is very hands-on in the farming. Like there's no stopping her. She's the farmer in our family. And a very innocent video of her behind a cubicle going, hup, hup, getting the cow out, I was literally right there, was reported to HSE of the child being in this environment, was at risk. We had to go through a full farm inspection. We had to go through, both of us had to get quad tests to be qualified how to drive a quad and certificates. And it just being like, what? All this because my child was, in the shed or whatever. But they said it was anonymous, an anonymous report, and then they sat and went through all my TikTok videos. Like, I see you're driving the JCB there. Are you qualified to do that? So now I second question what I put on my videos because somebody reported it.
I'd say advice if someone wanted to do that, you probably need to be wary of all that. If anybody out there wanted to kind of do it or see it, you need to be wary.
It's something as simple as, and I have seen it in videos, if you're on the quad and you've no helmet on and you're like this here, that's the video that's going to get reported, and you think nothing of it.
Would you be worried to go out of your way to actually lift the phone and rings?
Or just flick
Somebody
past.
did,
Just
Yeah,
flick
if
over.
that annoys me, go on ahead. But
Yeah.
actually, Google a number, hi, I'm reporting this.
Yeah, but you know what it is? The girl that I was speaking to, like, I'd say it was probably one of the hardest things to happen, probably, that's come out of social media for me personally, because I was like, I would never put my child in danger.
Yeah.
You know, I'm trying to highlight that this child's so eager to farm and loves the farming and da-da-da-da, but I just said it was some jealous
Yeah.
bad name, reported it. The girl that was another end of the phone was like, Vicky, I'm from a farming background, completely get it, whatever. She says, look, we just have to follow procedures and see it through. And they came out in the farm and they're like, we don't see anything wrong, we don't see any problems, but if they ring back again, we have to do this to tell them, we've been out to this farm, there's no risk, there's no harm to a child here.
You just all put it out there now. I lost Max for a couple.
Yeah. Someone reported.
This is being recorded.
It
He's
does
home
take
when
the
he's
shine
safe.
off.
It takes the shine off it, and it really just dampens the spirits. So now I'm just very
You have to be
cautious.
well
I'm
wary,
just very
massively.
cautious.
Oh,
Yeah.
I am 100% convinced I will go down in a blaze of fire because of something on social media at some point.
Probably.
I'm really careful though. I don't say
And do you
anything.
know
But
what
he
they
will
put
call
made
it a blaze of glory.
Yes.
I think what made it worse was because it was a video that I made on TikTok when Dale didn't really agree with TikTok,
Oh,
and I
Dale
was
was
just
like,
like,
"What you doing
he
that
didn't.
for?"
In fairness, Dale was not angry
Yes.
at that or anything, but that's just everything ate me alive. It was like, Dale didn't agree with this, and somebody thinks I'm really a bad parent, and da 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 da. And then now, as I was going to say, you've changed my perspective on negativity. It's like, just let them.
Yeah.
Just let them.
Nah, yeah, don't even engage it. But
No.
if anybody wanted to
You
do
love
the
it,
videos,
like thrive
you
on
have
it,
to
and
be
like
cautious.
it's a like, it's a share, it's a
Like,
comment, it's
What's in
you
the
know.
background? Is
Yeah.
there 10 tires tall? You know, I mean, you have to be so cautious of what is in your video because
It
everybody's
is actually
judging.
insane, but there is people
Oh.
that watch videos and they'll scar the not like they don't care what you're saying or they don't care what the thing is that the video's about.
You even
They're
see
looking at
yourself.
the background to see what they can.
When Dale's watching a video, he's not watching the individual, he's watching what he's got sitting in the yard
What did
right
I say?
behind him.
Aye, that's what I do even yet, like in our videos. Watch the video and Lorraine like makes a video and repeats and this back and repeats and this back and repeats and like, oh my goodness, I just hate the video. And the times it's watched, she'd give it to me and go and look over that and I'm like, can't say that, can't show that, can't do that, can't do this, can't do
Even
this.
things like
And then hand it back and it's all deleted back out of it and then it gets put up. But like it is, you have to be very,
Yeah.
very safe.
see with us like having so many tractors and stuff and don't see even like a tractor maybe with a broken or a trailer with like a broken number plate or something like that. Like you just
Just don't.
things like that, you know,
Yeah.
you just do not know like that.
People always pick up on something wrong or something in
Yeah,
the background
yeah.
or something, and you're like,
Just
Well,
can't-
we'll end this section with a simple question for a simple answer. What's the best thing about social media? Jessica.
oh yes.
We got a lot of steaks last month, and I
Yes.
really enjoyed them. I'm not gonna
That
lie,
is
that was
true.
one of the highlights.
For me, I really enjoy engaging with people. So like replying to comments. That's sort of a big part of why I do it.
Dale.
Deal.
The free wellies.
Nice. Vicky?
Probably for me, making people laugh and smile and take their mind off negativity for just a couple of seconds,
Yeah.
and seeing that people are laughing at it.
Yeah. Lorraine.
Probably the friendships.
Yeah.
Like, if you had said to me this time last year that I'd be sitting on a stage with you guys, and you obviously, or that I would have spoken at the Icon Centre back in November, or if I had, you know, friends that I've now found on TikTok, I would have laughed at you because I just would have thought this is ridiculous.
Yeah.
Because I think as a woman, it's hard to kind of make new friends anyway at our age. Sorry, that's a very sweeping comment, but yeah, no, definitely the friendship. Somehow I was very shocked that came out of it.
Adam.
Probably, like he says, try and bring a bit of positivity into farming. Farming, you're be yourself, as you say. There's two E's, there's one E's. Like I'm sure there's a lot of farmers on here just farming themselves. You think of it, like I would ring a friend there, you think you have a bad day and you chat to another man, he's a worse day. Makes your day a better day.
Yeah.
But actually seeing other people doing different things probably brings a different aspect to what you're doing at home. And, you know, something happens, what am I doing wrong? And you hear somebody else is having the same issues when you find out maybe I'm not doing something wrong, maybe this is just the way farming is. And the second thing would probably be, it'd be nice to look back in years to come.
Yeah.
For memory for everybody, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Okay. We will take a 2 or 3 minute break to get the questions gathered up, and then we will spend about 20 minutes going through them questions.
Are the questions up there?
Yes, they're going to bring them up to us. So pass your questions along to the end of the row, and they'll lift them, and we'll pick a few out.
You look like Rob.
What?
No, who's the other one? Andy Farrell.
Oh yes,
What's this from? I've never seen it.
Andy Farrell.
Yellowstone.
See, we tried to watch it, we turned it off after 5 seconds.
Andrew, like the first scene is them shooting a horse.
I was like,
We
not
haven't
watching
watched
this.
it.
What's Yellowstone?
We haven't
It's
watched
too
it.
gruesome.
No.
We've only watched
No.
literally one
You've
minute.
watched it?
You have
Really?
to watch it, honestly.
I
Whenever-
can't
whenever
help
one
but watching
kept
TV
coming,
shows anymore.
It's
It has to be like YouTube.
My attention span's gone.
His attention, he is literally what I'm fighting against in my job.
Are these people going home?
Is that fun? Half 9.
Oh, Yellowstone's good.
No, we haven't watched it yet. Haven't watched it. Whenever everyone was like, he looks like Grip, he looks like Grip, I was like, who the hell's Grip? So when we had to go and Google it then, it was like, oh.
Well, it's good. We went on to it, we talked for a long time, but that was okay.
Oh, sorry.
I heard CO2.
What does it say?
I heart CO2.
I what?
I heard CO2.
I think we're
I
going to have
thought
enough
it was
questions.
later.
You'll have to limit the questions.
The other question of mine was celebrity crush.
5 to 10 has to be the last question.
If there's a...
Who is their celebrity?
No, we'll not answer them all. We'll do like 20 minutes. Oh,
Andrew,
take 1 or 2 each.
Give me another one. There's 3.
Pick a few.
No more. Is that in there?
Those rent and ground makes sense.
Thought so.
I would go with head and start.
Oh,
Here's one for you, Andrew.
okay.
Here. And that's for Vicky. And what have you got?
We have a couple.
Who do I give that to?
Oh, you just ask. You can ask whoever you want. You ready?
Here, Vicky.
We'll turn them
Or
on
do I
again.
ask?
We'll go again.
Hey, what have you
That's a
got?
waste.
What have you got, Lorraine?
What?
I'll ask you this.
Too
Adam.
low.
Okay.
I'll be
I'll ask
okay.
you
Leave
this.
it
Hey, answer I'm going to ask you, does rant and grind make sense?
Oh, so we all answer.
Well, we can all answer it.
Yeah, I think we all have to kind of, well,
Did Vicky learn her dance move in Myra's nightclub?
Okay. So, am I still on?
No, you're off.
I'm off.
That's right.
We'll
no.
let you take your photo first.
Come on up here.
Rup. I told you everyone wanted to come and see Dale.
Hey, Dale's
Thank
going to start
you.
TikTok.
Thank you. Okay. We'll just wait for the
See me,
celebrity to
just
get his photo taken. Right, Jessica, you can go first.
Okay. I think this is technique for everyone, but we'll do quick fire. So what is your favourite job on the farm and what is your least favourite job?
Worst job is drying cows off. Favorite job is mowing silage.
Best job is feeding cows, diet feeding. That's the best job, and the worst job is probably calves.
Favorite job is calf or car washing. Worst job is bed calves.
favorite job, although it doesn't
Check
happen
it.
anymore because I'm already a dairy farmer, but it's lamb and sheep.
Turn it on.
Worst job, sick calves.
Mine's, I'm happy working no matter how you're working, whatever. Worst job's probably paying bills.
Need to keep going.
No, we'll go around. The question I got is, how much pay do you get from social media? Not enough to justify the time, but it's pretty close now. But I will say there is enough potential that I think it will be more than worth my time in the future. It's quite a tactical answer, but it's basically like a badly paid job.
Does YouTube pay more than TikTok?
Yes,
Yeah.
quite a lot more. The difference is a lot. Yeah.
See, I'm not YouTube, and TikTok's completely different. Like, people think you get a lot of money. There's a video that might only make like 36p. Like,
Yeah.
it's so random, and then you get a video that might make £10. But how these people are making their money is from brand deals, the likes of an outside company looking in, going, "Oh, we want her to do a video for us," and you would agree a price. It's not really from TikTok.
All of last year, I got $4,000 from TikTok, and I got an energy powder company this week offered me $2,000 to make 2 videos.
Yeah.
But I said no, I think. But that's where the money is.
Why did you say no?
Because I don't want to sell stuff. It's like I'm extracting value, I want to try and add value. But the company then sent me the stuff, and it's really good. So I'm like, I don't know what to do, to be honest. I don't know what to do.
Watch this space.
Yeah, right, deal, you're up.
Does rent and grind make sense?
Yeah, well, it makes a lot more sense than buying it.
Do you
Definitely.
think, yeah?
If it's the right money.
You have to rent ground, you can't buy
You
it.
can't buy it.
You can't buy
No farmer can buy ground. That's just the reality, which is totally insane.
Or you can buy it, yes, and work hard and pay it off for the next generation with a busy AST.
Yeah, but you're ruining your whole life for 50 acres of ground. Like.
If you can give it to the next generation, sure, what about
I don't like my children that much.
They don't make any more of it is the problem.
Yeah, I know, but I don't know. Vicky, what's your question?
Oh, is that your question? I have two.
I still want.
I do. Where do we see? What has been your biggest challenge on the farm, or is that in social
In
media?
life?
In life?
For me, it has been managing my time. So I just don't have enough time to do what I want to do. So you have to sacrifice stuff to get extra time. And the last 2 years, I've been sacrificing basically farm stuff. And that's probably because of an effect. So that's the hard part. What's the biggest challenge for you?
Married to Andrew.
Being married to him.
I knew that was coming.
I would say though I have a very good support system, like as in there's a lot of grandparents and stuff to help out. Like it would feel very lonely if I didn't have that. I think the biggest challenge is you being away so much, but it's also about watching you thrive. So there's a balancing act with that challenge as well, because there's good and bad to it.
Deal.
Hey, getting the work-life balance for children and family life.
Yeah.
It's when you say Poppy has to be here or Charlie has to be here, I'm thinking, well, geez, I have this to do and I have this to do, and how's this going to work? And you have to make it work.
Yeah.
Because like Poppy, she's 11 now, and like not a lot of years, like,
She'll be
it's gone like.
up and away. That, yeah, I think that's for both of us, because we're both in the same sort of shoes. The biggest challenge is family life, farm life, trying to get it all right.
Probably a toss up between just time management and then kind of trying to juggle everything. It's impossible, and I think as much as you try your best and kind of, obviously like your family and your children come first, your work comes second, your house, my house is like way down the bottom of the list somewhere, but like it is just a real, that's probably something that I'm quite a control freak, and that's something that I just have not dealt with very well. So
Probably seen, generally, like your kids are only young once, really. So whenever everyone misses now, you'll never be fit to get it again, really. So it's trying to capture as much as you can, but also push as hard as you can for them. So it's trying to balance that you try and get the important things, but at the same time, try and build a foundation for them whenever they're your age. Hopefully you have a better platform for them to step into, have a better age of their life, really.
Okay, we'll go along once more. So 6 more questions.
This question is for Farm Theory. What does your father think of you making videos? His father's not here tonight, so that probably tells everything.
I would say we have a very strange relationship in that I have always been for change, and I have been extremely forceful in getting what I want. So if I wanted to do something a certain way, it was going to happen. And my dad is a traditionalist, doesn't like change, doesn't have a mobile phone, so he's not going to be very up to date with technology. But I think the 10 years of farming where he knows I'm not going to listen to him. So I think he's never once had an opinion on social media because he knows it would make absolutely no difference.
But you and your father actually work, funny enough, very well together, because you're both really great at different things.
Yes, I don't like cows. He likes cows.
Yeah, he's brilliant at that. Like, he's so good with the things that you would really struggle with. So actually, it really balances out perfectly.
Yes, and he hated the business stuff. He hated running the business, whereas I loved that. So whenever I came home, that was like, it was so easy to take over that because he hated it and wanted rid of it. So, yeah. My question? It's sort of a two-parter. Dale, where did you get your hair done? And Adam, what was?
Is that a compliment?
Yeah, it's a compliment. Yeah. Do you want to say where?
Sure. Maybe it's for them to avoid that, please.
Oh, there you go. A great establishment. Adam, what was it like going home from County Down with your tail between your legs at the tractor pull?
That's a good question, ever asked it?
I honestly don't. I see.
He was raging clearly.
What bait you?
I'm going to have to work with us on the way home. You do realise?
There's a big new hole in the tracks, beat me, isn't it?
I seen the video of that, yeah.
Oh, yeah, there could be cases. See.
Sure, well
Do you know
beaten.
what
No, it was the tracks. It was the tracks that beat you.
Do you know what I never done anything? You got tractor pulling, you know. Do you know what? Ever since, like I'm what, 35?
This excuse is coming out.
What age am I?
Why are you looking at her?
I'm 35 coming, and I'm now due my second hip replacement. I've lost my thumb. I have no.
This is why
I have
he lost the tractor
I have
pull.
no hobbies. I had a love for rugby, and I love rugby, but then everything went So go back to the past when I worked, not just me, all my brothers, everyone, their partners, wives, everybody worked. But then you kind of went away from your social life. You didn't have any. Simple as, I'd say 90% of the people on here don't have a social life. So for the tractor pulling, I honestly didn't even care about it. It's just to go meet different people. Just get your head away from what's happening at home and just chatting to people. I would recommend that to everybody, not just tractor pulling, but go and do something. And if you're not in common, like I can't do rugby and football, if you like farming, you're obsessed with farming, just go and find someone that likes it as well, but just doing something else, wherever it may be. But I didn't mind the tail between my legs, to be honest.
A good answer. Deal?
You did?
Yeah.
Did Vicky learn her dance moves in Myridge nightclub?
Mirage.
Mirage?
Nightclub.
Deal taught her every move she knows.
Yeah. Secretly, he's the one behind the camera going 2, 3, 4. Oh, I know.
One left.
I taught myself in the bedroom. Is it worth making videos? I think we already answered that,
Yeah, we
really,
did,
though. You haven't answered.
How do you all manage children, farming, and filming? Badly.
Andrew, how do you manage it?
I don't like to be organised, and I only do something if it's a complete last-minute panic. So I just live day by day, and whatever needs most urgently done, that's what I do. So Jess will tell me that we have to go somewhere, and unless she tells me the hour before, I'll not remember.
Yeah.
Yeah. So in a state of continuous chaos and panic.
So between my phone takes us all night about the AD plant and then workmen or farmers looking work done, that's kind of just, I just kind of do what I do and walk out the door in the morning, and the rain kind of does the rest after that, to be honest with you.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then if I'm like really struck, I'll be like ring her going, I know by her response it's like, hello, I'm in there. If it's a what, I know I'm screwed.
I don't answer the phone like that, do you?
Alright, well, it depends.
It's
What
all
do you want?
very relatable.
So we would just go like,
You know what? No, I have this like sense. I know whenever you're ringing me, like to what, because you want something. You're not ringing me to ask me how I am or how my day's going. It's can you feed 30 men in half an hour? No.
If he ever rings you and says, how's your day going? You're like, are you sick? What's wrong?
Have
you lost our child again?
Like that, and she goes, what do you want? And I'm like, we have about 20 men in Dungiven, 15 in Oma, 12 in Limavady. You wouldn't have them fed. When? I'm like, oof. Half an hour.
No, that's not even the best. But he'll hang up on you then he'll ring you back and go, would you bring in them cows and see if you can milk them last 2 rows too before
So
you
really,
go?
it's the killing women who support the whole thing.
The women
We
are
keep
right.
the whole thing afloat.
You know, I know what, that they're not given enough credit. Every farmer's wife, you see a woman in the background, a man's only as good as what's going on in the back. Like if the wife didn't want to take the weight, no, it shouldn't sound so bad, like, but if the wife or the partner or anybody wasn't devoted to doing that in the background, the farmer can't go out every day and milk his cows because somebody has to look after the wean. Simple as, and women aren't given enough credit there.
Yeah.
You know, even though-
Amen. Thank you.
Who knew Adam was such a feminist?
Have you that recorded? Because I would quite like to play that back at
Yeah,
some
you
point,
should,
just to
yeah.
remind him.
Taking the farming out of it, that's why the other generation was the husband or the fellow went out to the farm and the wife did everything in the house, you know what I mean? And looked after the kids and reared the kids.
But it is true, you're only as good as your support
100%,
system.
don't worry. Like we're out working, yes, and 100% we work, but if Lorraine said to me, I am not taking that way into school tomorrow, no matter what I'm doing, that's it, that stops.
Yeah.
And then I think, or you know what I mean, or anybody, like our partners, our wives, like when we're really under pressure, like
They pick
they
up the slack.
all, like Joanne, Karen, Mary, Mandy, Lorraine, they all, every single one of them knock on, like, and Alana, they just go and they either milk, drive tractors, food. So like, it's like the girls have their own dinner night. Like,
Yeah.
like Lorraine gets his and she'll rhyme me off now dinner nights. Like what's from Monday right through the following week.
And that's all year round. Like we all have a night.
Even now,
all
even
year
still.
round, yeah.
So, like the girls still to the date feed my father, my youngest brother, in the farmhouse. still to today, like, no.
Yeah.
Even, and then whenever the work picks up, then they'll, but that still always happens.
Lorraine, what's your next question? Or have I missed someone?
No, it's
Oh,
Adam.
Adam's the final one then.
Deal. How many cows, land do you need to be valuable, profitable farm?
Viable.
Hey. Sure, any man can milk, sure, there's men milking 300 and there's men making a living at 70. It all depends what households, what's coming in, what's going out. But we're 180, 90 and comfortable.
Are you happy with 190?
Me?
Yeah, I have a very good friend and he's 60, 70 cows and he's content.
That's the thing though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's other men that's 500, they're still not content.
So which one are you?
The man in between.
Dale went through a phase of wanting to go farm away,
Yeah.
get up, leave Northern Ireland, go to Scotland. Hellbent, going to Scotland. I was like, I'm there, where you need me, let's go. And then it kind of, I think farm of land come up for sale, went for that, close to home, and kind of just,
I've too much invested at home,
yeah, too
Yeah.
much
but I'm
invested
at my
home.
butt.
Yeah.
That's workload, I am at my butt.
Yeah.
With just the two of us, if we
Yeah.
were to do anything else, we would need to start
I
having
want no
full-time
more.
staff.
Yeah.
I am at my butt. I'll
No,
admit
I
that.
think everyone's the same.
Yeah.
I think everyone's got the same point.
Yeah.
It is a disease, but when we do it, we're like, why do we do this every day?
Yeah.
And the minute we don't do it,
But there's
we're
more
like,
good days than there is bad days, that's why we do it.
Yeah.
the
It's
well,
like, it's like whenever you finish cutting silage,
oh,
as soon
I
as
know
that
it's
last blade of grass is cut, see,
But you'll have the top link up now, soon in May, ready for cutting
Well,
grass, like.
see
What's it
whenever,
is, I know I have a disease.
See, whenever
I go
he
home and
comes
watching
with-
YouTube, like I'm watching. I'm actually just doing more watching English, just watching Germany, so I don't know what they're chatting about, but I just watch it.
he's not even joking. Like from he finishes cutting silage, all he watches on YouTube, right until he gets
It's
cutting
not
silage
cutting
again,
silage.
is cut.
Oh.
In every language. I'm fluent.
But you
in-
chat
I
about
don't know.
social media for that, and there is, but I'd be wild into social media for ideas.
Yeah.
Look at how he done that, that's a good idea. Or
Yeah.
that boy's having that problem, that's a good way of fixing that. That's the way I look at social media as all for them reasons, you know what I mean?
Sure.
Because you've other people's ideas.
Yeah.
I'm a,
Just putting on the rest of the family or that info.
No. Well, we will wrap up there. We went slightly over time, but not by much. Thank you all for coming. I hope you have enjoyed this evening. We will say thank you to Jared, who has done the sound for me this evening. Thank you to the UFU. Well, give him a round of applause. Thank you again to the UFU for hosting us this evening. Give them a round of applause as well. And thank you to our wonderful panel for agreeing to do this. So thank you very much. And thank you all for coming. Really, really do appreciate it. I hope you've enjoyed this evening. I think we have all enjoyed it. And
Dale's just glad it's over.
yeah, I'm going to say even Dale has enjoyed himself. So that's a real achievement. So thank you very much. And if you do have any feedback, please do send us a message. We're very contactable people.
And if it's a hate message, message Andrew.
Yeah, that's true, yeah. So thank you very much and hope you all get home safe. Lovely.
Got your camera.
Oh.